Hi guys, thanks for being here today. We're at the park filming because it's a beautiful day outside. I'm Bria and welcome to my channel. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen my first video, I'll link it somewhere either in the description or somewhere around here. Also, if you see me looking off to the side, I have some notes because there are some really important things that I want to touch on in this video. So we're going to be talking about how to find seasonal jobs. But before I start, I want to kind of update you guys as to where I am and where I'm going, because I did mention in the last video that I was currently looking for my next temporary job, and I have accepted a position. So I'm currently at home in Beaumont, Texas. And in about a week and a half, I'll be taking a really long, annoyingly long flight to Vermont. I will be working at Basin Harbor. It's a nice little resort, and I'm super excited about that. I've never been to Vermont. I've actually never been that far north before, so it'll be new for me. What I want to mention first is when I mean seasonal jobs, I kind of want to define what I mean by that. I know that when we think of seasonal jobs, a lot of times we think of like working retail, like during the holiday time.
Passion fruit spray? Fruit spray?
Or during summer, and you just do it for a few months as they need you, and then you stop, and that's it. But when I mention seasonal jobs, I mean pretty much jobs that are mainly in hospitality, where it doesn't matter where in the country you are from, you can apply and get the job. A lot of them come with housing. On this channel, I will only talk about jobs with housing because it just makes sense financially. So the jobs generally have housing, some of them have meals included, and it's a pretty good benefit to you as a worker, and all you're responsible for in the end is getting yourself to that place. So I think it's a really good opportunity for most people. So I want to quickly give my history with seasonal jobs so that you can kind of understand more about me and just why I've chosen to do this. So I think it was in 2019 that I quit a job that I had for 3 years. I was working in a call center and I absolutely hated it.
I always hated it.
It was the worst. I was legit depressed most times behind that job. I was sitting at a desk in front of a computer all day, every day, and it was awful. So I knew I could not do that for much longer. My lease was coming up in 2019, and I thought I need to get out of here. But I didn't have any money.
We are showing a balance of $0.00 for both of your accounts.
Homegirl didn't have any money, and my credit wasn't that great either.
I declare bankruptcy!
So I knew I wouldn't be able to get an apartment and just like move like people usually just do. So I started looking up options online. I was like, there must be something I can do. And I discovered this world, this opportunity to work in different resorts, different different places that have like tourist populations, and be able to work and have housing, which I thought was really cool. Okay, so I failed to mention that I also lived in a town that didn't have a lot of opportunities, and I also really did love to travel. So I really had no intentions of actually finding a permanent, regular type of job, which is why I currently live a nomadic lifestyle. I love that you could apply from anywhere in the country and get a job with housing and just have an opportunity to travel without having to put a lot of money down and having a lot of responsibility on you. I think that's a really good idea and option for a lot of people. With anything good like this, of course, there are pros and cons to working seasonal jobs. I want to mention who these would be for and who they may not be for. So first, I want to say a lot of these jobs you can do just in the summer. So if you are a high school student or a college student and you're looking for a job, but you don't want to go back to mom and dad's for the few months that you're going to be off of school, there are opportunities where you can just hang out for the summer, make you some money, meet some cool people, and maybe go somewhere you haven't been before. So that is a particularly good thing, I think. Even if you're taking a gap year between high school and college, if you're on gap year, you can do it for a year, 6 months. Again, it's an opportunity to travel, go somewhere you haven't been before, while also making a little money. Always a good thing. Okay, so we can't talk about who these jobs would be for without talking about who they may not be for. So one of the negatives, I guess you can say, of working a seasonal job is that more often than not, you're going to have a roommate. So it depends on what company you're working for and how big or small they may be. That really decides what their housing situation is. Most of them, you're going to have at least one roommate. Some of them I know, if you're older, which they decide what older means. If you're older, sometimes they'll put you in your own room, which is awesome. But if not, you should expect to have at least one roommate. And I can understand if you don't want a roommate, these jobs may not be for you because it's really difficult to find a place that allows you to have your own room, just because they take on so many workers that, they have to have room to house them, and that's costly to them to have, rooms, and then to have rooms that they are only housing one person in. It's just difficult to find places like that. Also, we can't talk about this without talking about the pay. A lot of these jobs also, because they offer housing and food sometimes as well, they can justify not paying you that much. And you can decide what that much means to you. But I'll give you an estimate of what I've seen personally. I've seen anywhere from low end being minimum wage to higher end being $20 to $21 an hour, which is great, but you really have to think, can I afford to do so-and-so job? Just like with any other job, in corporate America, can I afford, with my bills that I'm expected to pay month to month, can I afford to take on this job? It may be the most fun opportunity that you found, and it may pay only $14 an hour. Can you afford to make that work? And I personally think that you're going to have a harder time making the seasonal job work if you have a lot of bills to pay. If you have a $500 car note and car insurance and all of this, you may find it hard to make it work. And personally, it's hard for me to have fun if I'm struggling. Like right now, I'm struggling. Jesus Christ. We're gonna get to do this. Okay, so to me, I don't want to struggle in exchange for fun. Like, I don't want to have fun but be in debt. Like, this is not something that you should do to be in debt. Of course, if you're doing this for like a summer or a few months, then you can pretty much make it work. Just be smart and make it work. But if you're thinking about doing it for a gap year, or you're thinking about, hey, maybe I can take a couple years off and travel the country and just work seasonal jobs and have housing. Well, if that's the situation, then you really have to think, what can I afford to take on with my bills and still save money? Because I think at the end of the day, you want to save some money. You don't want to be in debt. You don't want to struggle. You want to have fun doing these jobs, but you don't want to feel like you can't go out and have fun. If you're off for the summer and you're looking for a job with housing, you want to have fun. You don't want to constantly be pinching pennies and thinking, I can't go out on the weekends because I don't make nothing but $7.25 an hour. It's just food for thought, really. So you may be wondering, this sounds great. I'm really interested in doing seasonal jobs, like housing, food, fun, why not? So this is the #1 place that I go to find seasonal jobs. The #1 place. Anyone that you talk to, I promise, if they are in that lifestyle, if they do seasonal jobs or have done them, they will know about Coolworks. Coolworks has so many jobs and they update them daily. Like I go on there sometimes just to see what's available because I want to give you guys jobs when I find them that I think are really good deals. And I will give you one in this video that pays $17 an hour, has housing, it's in California, and they do have some meals included. And I want to show you what that looks like. But Coolworks has jobs from Maine, California, Colorado. Ski resorts in Colorado are big places to find jobs in the wintertime. Anywhere near a national park, I promise you will find a job. They have jobs with outdoor adventure camps and stuff. So there are tons of things available. You can filter out results by state, by season, by, you know, housing if you don't care where you go. You don't care where you go. If all you need is housing, you can filter your results by just housing, making sure that your employer provides housing. I also want to mention I have used Indeed before to look for these types of jobs. My only issue is that Indeed isn't really meant for searching for these types of jobs. So a lot of times when you search in jobs with housing in Indeed, it gives you results for jobs within housing as an industry. So it'll give you like housing coordinator or like jobs with apartment complexes or companies. And it's just like, that's not what you're wanting. There are bugs everywhere. Okay, so yeah, Indeed it's just really not meant for these types of jobs. I've seen jobs on there that look like they are seasonal and do have housing. Sometimes it'll even pull up jobs that legit say no housing included. So it's the complete opposite. Yeah, I don't go on Indeed often, just, you know, when I think there were a few times where I was kind of worried I wouldn't be able to find a gig, so I went to Indeed. But Coolworks is the place to go. I promise you, you will not be disappointed with the jobs on Coolworks. So here I will go ahead and show you the job that I found that I think is a really good opportunity.
Okay guys, so this is the job I was talking about, or the jobs, because the Hyatt Regency Lake Tahoe Resort, Spa, and Casino has tons of jobs. Isn't that picture so beautiful? So just a quick look. They have jobs available in many different areas: front desk, housekeeping, food and beverage. And it does say tip positions start at $9.25 an hour, but non-tip positions start at $17. You get access to a fitness center. You have complimentary meals. I don't know how many meals that is. And then there is shared employee housing at a discounted rate. So typically you want to speak to an HR representative to ask about the cost of housing specifically. I did go to the Hyatt Regency website, this one, and they have a lot of different jobs available. So even though this job was posted, if I go back to Coolworks, even though this job was posted on the 30th, there are still tons of jobs available. I think it's at 61. So this is a beautiful looking location and it looks like a good opportunity if you guys are interested.
If you subscribe, the next video will likely be a travel vlog. It's gonna be a pretty long one because I have 2 layovers. I don't know why. I guess Vermont's just small, but every flight I found was 2 layovers, just really long flights. So it'll be a fun, definitely long travel video. So that's coming up next. All right, guys, so thanks for being here and watching the video. I know there are so many other videos you could be watching right now. I'm gonna go home so I can get out of this heat. It is hot here in Texas. I haven't been to Vermont, so I'm wondering what the weather's gonna be like there. I'll update you when I get there, and see you next time.